What is up, guys? Crypto Bear here, and yes, it is looking more and more likely that we're actually going to be hitting our breakout target of our descending triangle on the 30-minute chart of around 118k. So obviously, lately we have broken out of this descending triangle where we've constantly made lower highs and lower lows, with the lower highs obviously coming in steeper, which means in most of the cases we actually break out to the upside. After that, came back into previous resistance, but didn't hold it, then bounced back into support. And we did hold the support levels here of around 109k, and we retested this resistance once again, which had us feeling quite bearish. But now we've actually reclaimed this resistance and flipped it back into support. So you can also see this beautifully on the daily chart, where as well we've actually claimed support right here on these levels. So the next step for Bitcoin would be to reclaim the previous support levels of around 118k before we actually head over to higher levels and potentially, of course, breaking another all-time high. However, before that, we have to break the level of around 113k, where we previously retested this twice, and it looks like we're getting close to that level as well right here. So this line is crucial for us to flip bullish again and for us to continue and go to these higher levels. So what I want to see here playing out is that we not only jump back upwards, but we go above this line, retest it, and confirm it, and then move back upwards to these higher levels. Another thing that is looking pretty bullish is that we've bounced perfectly off the bull market support band. So it looks like the market is not done yet, and we are getting some more upwards momentum before this bull market is going to end. So one more thing that I also want to note is that we broke out of a downtrend in the RSI momentum indicator as well. So us holding the bull market support band, us breaking out of the downtrend right here on the daily, flipping previous resistance levels into support, and also of course breaking the downtrend on the RSI momentum indicator is looking very good. However, we do really want to see a confirmation before we move upwards. But if we don't hold these levels of support and break down, we could actually still be going towards our previous target from the breakdown of around 95k. So that is looking very bearish. Of course, we're not going straight to 95. We'll bounce around here at the support levels before we get there. But that is also something we have to take into account, because if you look quite closely and you see these lines actually right here, you see that we broke down of the ascending triangle. We haven't really gotten back upwards to these levels. So technically, we've still broken out, and the breakout target for this is 95k. However, we're looking at a good chance at a reversal right here, as long as we're breaking the levels of 113k. So taking a look at the spot ETF inflows of Bitcoin, we've had some green days here. We're starting to get some green days here again after some of the outflows of the last days. So if we see this continuing, we can actually start expecting more upwards momentum as money continues to pour in. And lastly, let's take a quick look at the liquidation heat map. So if we put this on a week, we can see that we have a bunch of liquidity still on the downside right here, but also the upwards liquidity is actually increasing. As you can see, the last 24 hour, we've seen an increase in some upwards liquidity. And if we actually zoom out to a month, we have a better picture right here, where we see that the liquidity to the upside is increasing. And usually what that means is whenever there is more liquidity on one side of the equation, Bitcoin often tends to move towards the price where there is the most liquidity. So we'll have to definitely keep an eye on these liquidity levels in the short term to see where the liquidity is going to be increasing, which of course heightens the chance that we're moving towards these levels. So this was the short market update of today. Definitely hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you back tomorrow in a new market update about where Bitcoin is going to go.